Hello, everybody. It is me. Whoa. Subway's coming back.
Oh, no, we don't want that.
It's that warm Coke mixed with Subway. It just creates
A bad mixture.
warm Coke Subway burps.
Yeah. No, I'm okay with that.
Okay, we'll retry again. Lateral. Hello, everybody. It is me, Darcy. It is him, Kris.
Yes.
Welcome once again to the Unnamed Podcast. Podcast where we sit here for a time talking rubbish.
Yes.
Yes. 2023 coming to an end. Thank God.
Yes. I know, right?
That hasn't been terrible.
No, don't do that.
It could be a lot worse.
True.
There have been a lot worse years in recent history.
Yeah.
As always, we're going to get started with a little bit of channel news. This week has of course been Christmas week, which means a video every fucking day.
I barely helped.
So on Monday we had Hitman. Check that one out. It's really funny. I get a little bit drunk. You don't see it in that video. You've got to watch the next video to see.
Yes, you do.
Just how hard it hit me.
Yeah, you shouldn't. You should learn at that point. Don't let me make you drinks. I mean, it's.
But you know, Kris did things the boring way. I, of course, did things the exceptional way.
Which was weird.
No, I had a goal. I stuck to that goal. I realized later that I didn't need to do everything I did to get to that goal. I already had the Santa suit.
Honestly, I thought it was going to be far worse for me. I ended up being a lot.
That's because you didn't get the Santa suit.
Yeah, I didn't know about the Santa suit.
Yeah, so check out that one. It's quite funny. And if you've ever seen any of mine and Kris playing Hitman, which isn't necessarily something you have seen because we've only done them twice.
A couple of times. It hasn't been.
No, we've only done it twice.
Maybe 3 times.
There's 3 videos, but it's only for 2 playthroughs.
Oh, yeah.
There actually might be 4 videos, but 2 playthroughs.
So would that not be 5? Because we would have done escalation in the other one, so it would have been split between 2 videos, wouldn't it?
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure...
So there should be 3 sets of videos, basically.
There are 3 sets of videos, but only... This is our third playthrough.
Yeah.
But it's surprising because it's a game that I fucking love. Like, I absolutely adore the game. And it's funny to watch Kris play it. And we always do
it's far
try
enough
and...
between that I forget what I'm doing and how to do it.
Well, it's not only that. It's also that, like, Kris doesn't know any of the game, like, any of it. So I always make him go first. Yep. So he can't then watch what I do and be like, oh, well, I'll just follow what... No, he has
However,
to
with the
figure it
escalation, I actually do that on the second playthrough. When he goes through and does the second one, I then go for the third one, like, haha, I can follow what Darcy... No, they've added stuff.
I'm very clever, though. I never show him stuff that I don't need. So it's like, normally when I'm playing the game, I go, okay, I need this, just to make my life easier. And I'll go and collect all the stuff I need. But when I'm playing with Kris, I don't. Unless I specifically need it for what I'm doing, I don't tell him where anything is. Because that's funnier for me. And that's what it's all about in the end.
It's fair.
Making me have a good time.
This time I didn't go in, this time I didn't technically go in with an explosive. Which I normally do. I never use it, though.
No, because they're ridiculous.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that came out on Monday. On Tuesday came out the Boxing Day beatdown in ARMS. That will probably be the last Boxing Day beatdown in ARMS. I think next year we're going to try a different fighting game.
Yes.
But you know, that's kind of the idea with the Boxing Day beatdown. We're going to have a bunch of different fighting games. Yeah. It's just that it's nice to pull out ARMS every now and then because you actually get to punch.
Yeah. And
if you turn and face Kris, you actually get to punch Kris. So that one came out, and in that one you do actually get to see the repercussions of alcohol.
Yes.
But not all of it. So if you do want to see everything that was filmed while filming ARMS,
it was a lot.
Check out the Patreon because there will be an extended edition put there. Because we kind of ended up doing like a sit down chat at the end of it.
Yeah.
We were very drunk. I was very drunk.
Nowhere near as drunk. Nothing, yeah.
On Wednesday, the day we're filming this, Mario Kart came out,
Yes.
which is Kris being drunk and me being fine.
I don't know what the hell happened there. Holy shit.
I got my stuff back. Kris did terribly. I'm
And
the
then you
greatest car.
added a new rule at the very end of the fucking game.
My prerogative, motherfucker.
Motherfucker. I believe my words were not motherfucker as well.
I do what I like. What is it?
Finally finished drinking? Drink your place. Oh, fuck you. You motherfucker.
I do what I like, and I...
Like what you do?
Yeah.
Yes? Sounds right.
What we do. It's a song.
You were going somewhere?
I'm trying to think of what comes out tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Tomorrow, from today where we're filming
Or
this,
yesterday if you're
Thursday.
watching this on Friday.
one of those funny things where we're both before and after the day. Brett and Fred.
Bread and Fred. Oh.
Brett and Fred are going to drop. That's an interesting one. Just
It wasn't all my fault.
it's
A lot of it was my fault.
It's one of those games where it is literally the worst of times all the time. And actually a lot of it is my fault, especially when I forget my controls.
And that's after we played Mario Kart. So
yeah.
there was also more repercussions of being drunk.
Yes, there was a little bit.
I wouldn't call it drunk.
No, I wasn't.
No.
You
Slightly inebriated?
something like that.
Yeah.
And then on Friday, of course, you've got the podcast, and there will also be a secondary drop, which will be the Long Dark freezing to death, which I think is a very good analogy for New Year's. Freeze to death.
No, in Australia, 100%.
What else? I don't know. I'm still without internet, so I actually haven't really seen much of the channel other than when I upload stuff.
Well, what if it shows up tomorrow? Then you'd be lying.
Yeah. No, still been without internet
Oh, yeah.
for Christmas week. So I haven't actually seen much of what's happening channel or anything wise, so I can't really update anyone on that. But as far as I know, everything's still trucking along.
Yes.
Anything to add to that, Kris? Anything to add to the channel news? The news on the channel?
I don't think so. I don't think we've got any new subscribers. It was at 35 last week, wasn't it?
Didn't have internet last week.
Well, last time we mentioned it, I'm pretty sure it was at 35. So we're still at 35. So
Yay!
that stayed the same.
Stability.
Views wise, so you can probably have a quick look at that.
Nah, it doesn't really matter.
Doesn't matter. Then nothing else.
Views are nice, but they don't really mean a thing until you've got the subscribers.
True.
YouTube, isn't it wonderful?
Yeah. But otherwise, no, nothing else really. No.
Nothing really to add to that, so we'll just poodle on.
And that'll be the end of channel news.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything else to add. So yeah, this is New Year's podcast.
Yeah.
Officially the last podcast before entering the new year, but I feel like we should knock out the New Year's now because it's like from when this will drop 2 days away.
Yeah.
And
Might as well.
knock it all out. Yeah, it's kind of. I don't know if you were with us last year. If you were, hello. If you weren't, hello as well. But New Year's is a time when everyone, New Year's, Christmas is a time everyone gets super excited. And for me, I just see it as a big downer because everyone thinks they've got to be excited. Everyone thinks they've got to have plans. Everyone's got to do this, go do that. Oh, you got to do this, go. And it's just like,
No.
For the average person, it's just a headache of responsibility.
Oh, it is.
So I thought, we'd look into the new year. Kris, is there anything you want to happen in the new year?
I get a new job.
Kris
Get
wants to
out
get
of
a new
that
job.
place. I have actually been looking at courses to be a PT.
Oh, nice. I would love another, 965 subscribers.
Oh, that would be great.
That would be lovely. So if you could just arrange that, that'd be great.
Oh, yeah, please do that. Let's get that done.
Still need that check from Nick for $2 million so we can go ghost hunting.
Come on, Nick.
So hopefully that will arrive in the new year. Nick, I know the post is slow, but
This is a bit ridiculous.
Come on, mate. Pick up your game.
You don't even live far away because you just dropped it off to us.
Yeah, mate. Why did you send it through the post?
It's not
Reliably unreliable.
Did you at least put it in an envelope so that if they saw it, they wouldn't just take it?
No, I did it all in 10-cent pieces.
Oh, yeah, no, that might be
No, but in all seriousness, it's like with the new year, it's like, I don't know, just want to keep doing this, getting better. Some of my goals for the New Year's is to finally start our Minecraft series.
Yes.
We've been planning it for about a year now. Because I'm pretty sure last New Year's I was like, oh yeah, we're going to look into doing some Minecraft. Well, this one we actually are. One of the first things we'll be filming when I get my internet back,
Minecraft,
is a Minecraft. Because everything we want to do in Minecraft kind of stems from that setup. So there'll probably be 3 or 4 setup kind of videos, and then bam, boom, bang, we'll start into some of the stuff that we're actually going to be doing in Minecraft.
I suppose you could probably look at how much setup there is, or how interesting it is. You could probably knock it back a little.
Maybe, but like the whole thing with it will be... So the plan is this. What we're going to do is we're going to jump into Minecraft. We're going to set up like a little home base. In this home base, we want to have houses and all the equipment that we might need. And we're going to do all of that in survival mode. No creative. Then we'll switch into creative to do some of the stuff that we're going to do otherwise, because So some of the things that we want to do building wise are just insane. If you,
I don't know what he has in mind.
Pretty much what we're going to look at is challenges.
Yeah.
A lot of our Minecraft is going to be challenges. I also do want to start a Sky Factory, but that can wait until we're a little bit more...
We've discussed that one before.
That can wait until we're a little bit more into Minecraft.
Yes. Get more used to it. Well, for me anyway. I don't play a lot of it.
The other thing... Yeah, so otherwise, set up what... I don't know... DK Village. We'll set up DK Village in in survival mode. That means getting the resources, fighting the monsters, finding 2 trees I can put a door between. Gotta have a house.
Exactly. A tree house.
All of that good stuff. And then switching into creative and doing things like one of the things I really want to do is make a giant maze for us to run through.
For us to run through?
Yeah.
I feel like you'll be cheating.
You would think so, but my plan is to build it, and so this is kind of like where we're going to get a little bit of extra Minecraft content from. Maybe for the Patreon, maybe for the channel. Don't know yet. It all depends. But when we're doing these building things, I'm thinking that with the nature of it, just putting a recording on and like recording as I build and doing that kind of stuff and just talking to the camera pretty much and being like kind of explain what I'm doing, kind of explain the premise. But then with the maze, I would leave it there for a while, long enough for me to forget how I built it, and then we can both go and try and make it.
Fair enough. That sounds pretty good.
Yep.
How big is it going to be?
Fuck if I know. But all of that comes after setting up a central place where we can build all of this around. If you've ever seen Achievement Hunter, we're kind of basing it off that.
Yeah.
Except we will not have a Tower of Pimps, we'll have a Tower of Swag, which will be purple and orange.
Yeah, that sounds right.
But yeah, no. So that's kind of where we want to go Minecraft. First thing, set up, do some building in 100% survival, so that we actually have to follow the rules of the game, and then go into the more adventurous stuff in creative, and
I'm gonna kill so many chickens.
I was saying, and then like build the challenges and stuff. I know that a lot of people do like the jumpings, puzzles, and all that kind of stuff. Do stuff like that, but then also try and as we get better at Minecraft, try and be a little bit more creative, add in like
in the challenges themselves. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And maybe even drag a couple more people into it.
Absolutely. I would love dragging people. So that's where we want to go in the new year. Add some more Minecraft, maybe do some more Hitman. We still have to finish off Bunnyman, so that's something to come. Honestly, truth is, in the new year, production will remain pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Maybe one or two small changes. Something I have been playing with on my mind for almost the longest time now is maybe switching out the podcast to a fortnightly podcast.
Okay.
Just to have more stuff to kind of collate, but at the same time, we don't collate stuff. But like, maybe so that it's 5 gaming videos, which is what we really do here, and then 1. But who knows? If doing, I pretty much thought of it at a time when doing the podcast was a bit of a struggle, and we were pushing ourselves later and later and later to kind of get it done.
Yeah.
But for now, everything's kind of gelling really well, so it's not the biggest issue.
Yeah.
But the other thing that may be a change is putting out 3 videos that aren't the podcast a week, and having on that Friday be a 2 video day.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But again, that requires a little bit more planning, a little bit more work, and a little bit more content rolling through. So I guess really our big goal this year is to figure out how we can get a really good content roll going on.
Yeah.
Because we haven't. I phase. I phase a lot. I go through phases where it's like, I have enough content that I don't have to do any work for the next month and a half. And then I get to points where I'm just like, I'm completely out of content.
I think that one happens a little bit more often.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
But mainly because it sometimes, especially when we were pushing the podcast really late, we weren't able to do any filming afterwards.
True. And
because of that, it was like we were relying on what we had done days before, and it's like, if we're together for about 3 hours, we can usually get maybe 2 or 3 filmings done. But there's a lot of mess around behind the scenes. There's a lot of stop and start kind of shit going on. So sorting out all of that would be mint.
It would be.
And then getting into a more reliable content role. But yeah, I think my biggest goal for this coming year with the channel is to get to that 3 videos and the podcast a week.
Yeah. Be good.
And that way, but no, just more content in general. More ways to reach different audiences. Try and pull more people in. That's one of the reasons we're going to Minecraft. Minecraft is amazingly popular, obviously. So is Fortnite.
Yep.
Still not going to do it.
Nope.
The game actually has to be fun for me to want to do it.
Really.
But Minecraft is incredibly popular. It's something that I actually enjoy doing. So it's been on our books for a very long time. It's just that.
Yeah, we've never done it on camera before. Wait, no. Thought we went to go do it at one point, but then just didn't.
I think we were going to do a Sky Factory, but then we just didn't because...
Yeah.
But the other problem with the Minecraft thing is that because we both work and have very differing schedules, whenever it comes to filming, especially something like Minecraft, where we kind of both want to be in the same area so we can communicate with each other.
Yeah.
It's very difficult because despite the looks, our schedules are actually very opposed to each other.
Yeah.
And so there is actually very little time when we actually have the opportunity to get together and do the filming.
Yeah.
We always set aside the podcast day, and we say, this is the podcast day, this is the day we do this filming. But as I said earlier, depending on the time of year and depending on how our schedule is going, sometimes that's not starting till stupid o'clock at night, and we don't have time to film around it. Also, sometimes due to our own incompetency, that's not happening till stupid o'clock at night, and we
that's
don't
a
have
common
time to
one
film
for
around
that.
it. It is. So we are trying to. That's kind of my goals for the next year is to try and put out a little bit more content. Look, truth be told, you probably won't be seeing that until the later half of the year, if we do get on that, because there'll be a bit of playing around, making sure that we can actually produce the amount of content. We definitely can, especially with Kris playing around on his end, doing his own filming, but at the same time,
which might slow down if I get into some of these courses.
At the same time, you've also got like all the editing time and all of that, and depending on what I have doing, because I do all of that behind the scenes stuff. Some weeks it's just like I can't get anything done because of all of the other things I've got to do. It's like, oh god, I didn't get any editing done this week because this day I was doing this and then had to go straight to work and then and just jetting around. So we are going to try and my plan for the next year is to get up to a 3-day release window.
Yes.
But also, there is a bit of a workaround we have to do with that. It does make it a little bit easier now that I'm doing more solo stuff, because that kind of widens the...
And it allows just when you've got free time, you can get into it.
Exactly.
Don't have to have me here.
It allows me to literally come down in the morning and be like, I've got a day, I'm going to edit, I'm going to do it, and I'll be like, I'll do a recording here. And that gives us a boost in our content ability, as well as just content that we have, boosting it. So, it's a bit of this, a bit of that, but that's my goal. My goal is at the end of 2024 to be putting out 3 videos plus the podcast every week.
Should be good.
Yeah, it'll be nice if we can do that. That'll be nice little kind of pop out. But yeah, as I said, there's a bit of dependencies around there, but that's where I want to get to. Of course, if we do get a bumper year, if this channel ever actually starts making money, the content will definitely increase, because it'll mean that I actually can afford to spend more time doing this and less time doing other things.
Yes.
And I can justify spending more time doing this. So ideally, that is the eventual goal. But for the next year, the goal is just to try and get that 3-day cycle, three gaming videos and the podcast out. That's my goal for the next year.
Which works. Yeah.
So I guess that's the future, what's to come. But for now, because it's the new year, because it's the last podcast of 2023, I thought we might do like a little bit of a year in review thing and talk about some of the things that we did, things that we liked, our favorite parts of the year, our least favorite parts of the year, all that kind of fun jazz. I might as well get us started. I have my Steam year in review. I just found it funny because me and Kris got those last week after the podcast. And apparently Chris's favourite game is Call of Duty.
It's just the main thing I played on Steam,
But what I really wanted to pull out about my Steam review is that I absolutely killed it numbers-wise. So just to have a quick peek down here at the actual stats here, how do I compare to the average or the median, which is of course the middle, median mode, if you will. But how do I compare to the average Steam or the middle Steam player? We'll call them the average. It really should be mean, but they've gone with median here for some reason.
Bit of an odd one.
Probably because they didn't want to do the maths.
Actually, probably, yeah.
But basically, I've got 3 stats here. 4 stats technically. I thought I'd share them with you.
Yeah.
So my achievements unlocked. The median for Steam users was 16 throughout the year. I achieved 102, so just a little bit.
And I am sitting at 82.
Yeah, so
still above.
Smashed him.
God damn it.
Number of games played on Steam. The median is 4.
That doesn't seem right.
No, but then you think about the people who literally only play one game on Steam.
Yeah.
Or the people who I play Counter-Strike Go only.
Yeah, okay.
So
fair,
it's
fair.
not that unusual. But the median is 4. I played 44 games this year.
Solid 24 for me.
Again, I've crushed in there. And the longest streak in days.
Yeah, he crushed me here too.
The median is 5 for over Steam. Mine was 18, which I actually think is a little bit low because usually I play a Steam game.
See, you got to remember when this was.
True.
His longest time was right before his internet cut out. So technically, that number would be higher again. I'm sitting at 7.
And then, of course, there's just a breakdown of how I've spent my time on Steam. So I spent 23% of my year playing games that released this year.
Mine was 8%. Yeah, wasn't much.
I played 18% on games that have come out in the last more than 8 years ago.
I don't want to say crushed,
which is actually for Steam very low. 38% of people only did 18.
Yeah, I got 13.
Nice.
So I wasn't far behind.
Whereas the new release, to show you just how posh and fancy I am, the new release, the average is 9%. I played 23%.
New release? Oh wait, I'm looking at the wrong one. Wait, didn't we already say that?
Yeah, but I didn't say what the average
Oh,
was.
yeah, okay, fair enough.
And then, of course, 1 to 7 years, I played 59%. The average was 52. So
79 got in there. Yeah.
Kris, you poor fuck.
It's bad how it is, isn't it?
Can see where you're spending your money. Anyway, so yeah, that kind of gives us the Steam review. What Steam has kind of boiled my life last 12 months down to. And now I thought I'd give our review of the year. Obviously, the number one spot of the year in the past year was the snow trip. Kind of hard to beat that.
I've got to agree that it's definitely
number lowest, girl issues. Girl issues was always down the bottom.
they always are. For me, it's actually the health.
Yeah,
it's not the girl problem's not fun.
For me, best game of the year has to go hands down Baldur's Gate 3. Best, that is the game that I've played the most of this year, and I definitely don't regret spending as much time as I did on it. So for me, that's the game review.
Yeah, I've got to say, for me this year, I can't even say game of the year because I don't.
Baldur's Gate 3.
Honestly, I'd have to say yes because of what I understand about it, what I know about it, but I haven't really played a lot this year. So my numbers are.
Well, I'm not talking about game of the year. I'm just talking about the game that I am the most pleased with this year in the time that I spent with it. Baldur's Gate.
I don't think I played too many games this year that I'm pleased with this. I was just zoning out while playing them. So I played a lot of. I went down the track of more puzzle games this year. So to play by myself. So I played a lot of The Room. I will say, other than the one I was currently playing at the time.
AD played it.
Only briefly. And it was to catch up to where I was.
The other game that I am glad I played this year, and I'm glad I didn't sit on, Coral Island.
Yeah, I did enjoy giving people trash.
I love games like that. I love how beautiful it is.
Yeah,
they're kind of my zone out game, as Kris was saying. Whereas like other games, I like you can't zone out when you play some games. There are games you can zone out and play. There are other games where it's like you got to be on top of shit. Yeah. And I enjoy the games where you got to be on top of shit. But I also like a good zone out game. And for me, this year, Coral Island was my zone out game. Even though, again, both of these games did only come out in the later half of the year, I'm fine with that. Yeah. The first half of this year, I wasn't really happy with anything in the video game world.
And we played quite a bit of COD. Why did we do that? Why did we keep doing that?
Because we fell into the trap of job.
Yeah, fair.
I'm going to move it on to my board game collection. Geez, that extended this year, didn't it?
It did, didn't it?
Best purchase of the year, obviously Eclipse. You can't beat Eclipse. It was such a good
fun.
deal.
It is a fun game. It is fun.
And it's massive.
It is also extremely daunting when Darcy is sitting right beside you.
It's also extremely daunting when you realise that you have to set it up.
Oh well, yes.
But Eclipse, that was my board game purchase of the year. The one that I'm just so happy I did and actually pulled the trigger on. But of course, all the games over there, I'm also glad I own. In fact, I'm glad I own all my games because I love board games. I just wish I had more people who wanted to play with them. I also literally over the last 4 days have bought 6 or 7 role-playing games, tabletop role-playing games.
Oh, nice, yeah.
They're $5 because they're just PDFs and shit. But God, have I got some good ones. I tried playing one with my sisters, and
how'd that go for you?
So the one I was trying to play with them is 10 Candles. If you've ever heard of it, you know that it's a tragedy horror game.
Okay.
So you're pretty much told from the outset, the problem with playing games with my sisters is they both complain that they don't know the rules and that I'm the only one who does. And I go, well, you're welcome to read the rules. I go, how long is that going to take? I'm like, probably 30, 40 minutes. I don't want to do that. It's then don't fucking complain you don't know the rules.
Just accept the rules I give you when I tell you them.
10 Candles has some parts that they should have probably read. But I was just I'm trying to do this quick and fast. Don't bother reading. I'll explain everything that you need to know. Yeah. But it pretty much states from the beginning, you're not surviving this game.
Okay.
Because the very last thing that happens when the last candle goes out is that everyone dies.
Okay. Fair.
So it tells you you're not going to survive, but that shouldn't affect how you tell the story. You're still trying to, you're telling a story of hope. You're playing out these survivors' last time. It's really cool. I'll actually go through it with you because I would love to play it with a group of people who are actually going to take it seriously. Yeah. Because it is supposed to be like a horror game where you're literally fighting against, but it's also not. It's also kind of less of a game and more of a storytelling thing. Yeah. So it's a dual-edged thing where it's yes, it's a game, but it's more about the story, not min-maxing.
Okay.
Telling, because it even says in the player stuff, you are your player, but you're also their adversary. Because players, as I was the game master, but the players I can take power of the story off them. Okay. But the players are really the ones telling the story. Yeah. And the better they're doing, the more of the story they get to tell. But I was playing with a group that weren't really telling a story. They were just okay, we've done this now. It's okay, you're min-maxing. This is a story. Elaborate what's happening. Yeah. So I'd like to play it with more people, and I also gave them a scenario which probably was ill-suited for them, because the scenario was you're supposed to go in and be heroes, as opposed to your own survival. You're supposed to protect other people, but they prioritize their own survival. Which wasn't going to happen. Even though I told them at the start, you're not surviving this game. Because the way it works is everything runs off rolling d6s. Okay. Yep. Really simple. You roll a 6, it succeeds. You roll a 1, you lose the dice, and you lose the dice for a set amount of time. Yeah. Which is a scene, which is until one of the candles goes out. Yeah. Every time you lose a dice, it goes to the game master. The game master then rolls the dice, and whoever rolls more 6s gains narrative control. Oh, okay. And I was being particularly nice to them because I was I can't be a dick to them. So even when I had narrative control, I was letting them succeed with minimal downsides. Okay. Also, there's there are some rules for the GM about keeping the suspense. Yep. So you don't throw the monsters at them in the first scene. No, yeah. You just kind of start alluding to what they can do. But in terms of what they can do, that's up to you. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so there's this. It's a really cool game. It's a really good system. I really enjoyed it. You just kind of need to play with the right kind of group, because the group I was playing with were, as I said, less concerned about telling the story and more concerned about surviving. And I was like, you can't survive. You are literally going to die. Yeah. Because every time a candle goes out, you permanently lose a dice. So when you're down to the last candle, you're rolling 1 dice. Oh, okay. Yeah. And you literally have a 1 in 6 chance of succeeding in every act you do. Yeah, okay. So it's you are supposed to die. But the whole game is about hope and humanity and all that kind of stuff. It's really cool. It's just I wish I'd played with a better group. Yeah. Which is fair. Then I have another one called The Honey Heist, which is about bears and criminals. Makes sense. Then I have another one. I think it's called like Alice is Missing or something. That's the most expensive one I bought, and I'm waiting for it to arrive. But it's got a really cool premise where it's like you can only communicate to each other through messages, like sending each other messages, because you're trying to find out what happened to one of your friends.
Yeah, I think I've seen something on that.
Yeah. I've spent a bit of money in the last couple of days on board games, but I love board games. I just wish I had more people to play them with.
I spent some money on a game, but it was not for me. So,
but yeah, no. So like, my big thing is I have so many board games. I just wish I had more people to play them with. And the other problem is that because I always have this idiot, but finding time when it's like, okay, everyone get together. We're gonna do this. And also, a lot of my friends are like, oh, let's get together and drink, and we'll play a board game. It's like, no, you've got that the wrong way around. You need to get together to play a board game, especially with a lot of my board games. That has to be the focus, and the drinking has to be an accompaniment.
Yes.
Whereas for a lot of our friends, it's like, okay, we're gonna get together, we're gonna get hammered, and we're gonna play a board game. So it always just becomes
It literally can't be any of the games we like to play because they're too complicated for a drunk.
It can only be Uno. And it's like, we should play other games. It's like, we could play other games if you guys weren't
just getting
20 drinks in.
Yeah.
Because there are so many wonderful games out there, but you're all too inebriated to pay attention to the rules.
Yes.
And it's like, and you would love these games. Like, for a lot of our friends, they're very similar to us. They would love these games. It's just that because they have the wrong mindset for it, they go, we're going to drink, we're going to play board games. Like, no, we're going to play board games and we're going to drink. Because if the board games comes first, then people will limit themselves to how much they're downing.
It's true.
Whereas usually it starts off and it's not until everyone's had about 6 beers that someone goes, let's pull out a game.
Yeah.
It's like, we can't play anything really.
Yeah, it was sort of like on Monday, where I was very inebriated. And they were like, hey, let's play some games. I'm like, yeah, I'm down for some games, let's go. My cousin threw me off. He told me that there was a game called Hitzler. I'm like, but the way he was saying it, I'm like, a game called Hitler? What is he on about? And he's like, oh, it's a music game. What has Hitler got to do with music?
Can't say that. But anyway.
And then I just kept going through that, and then they pulled it out, and I'm like, oh, Hitzler. What fuck? Okay, whatever.
Well, I have like 4 games there right now. That is a box of chocolates.
It is. Well, it's not really a board game.
It is actually.
Yeah, I suppose. Or a piece of paper, though.
It's a puzzle game.
It is. It's a good one. It's a fun little one, but
so I had them there, and I was like going to whip them out on Christmas, but everyone was like, "Oh, we got to eat," and you know how it is with divorced kids and shit. It's like they come around, you eat, they spend so much fucking time eating, then they do presents, and then it's like, oh, it's 7 o'clock, everyone's going home or going elsewhere. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess we won't crack out any of the good games.
Yeah, whereas mine was like,
also, like, you can't really, nothing there I can really play with kids.
No, not without utterly destroying them every time. Actually, it's
not even utterly destroying them.
I'm
it's
not
like
even opposed to that.
I don't have any issue beating the lesser. I beat you all the time.
Hey, whoa! I have won against you in a couple of things.
Yeah, but not Sushi Go Party.
No, we've played it once. We've played it once.
But my problem is I don't have the patience to explain to them time and time again the rules.
Yeah.
You know, with them being like little kids. I was going to just sit down with the adults and be like, okay, let's play some of these games. And the kids can watch, because I'm like, no, kids, you can't. There is no way you can comprehend what's going on here. Because you can't comprehend.
The biggest difference I find with like reading the rules between me and your sisters, they still won't learn the rules while they're playing half the time. Me, on the other hand,
it's like Risk Legacy.
It's give me the rules. It's like, okay, tell me what to do while we're playing, I'll figure it out.
It's like me and Risk Legacy, where it's like, we're sitting there, she's like, you're cheating, and you're like, no, he's following the rules perfectly. No, he's just making them up. No, he's done,
not.
Everything he's done is fair, he's just smarter than you. No, he's cheating. It's like, no, I am just fucking smarter than you.
It is one of those
things. This is what I do.
But it is a conversation. It's an argument. It's not a conversation. It's an argument that we have every time we play it with.
Because it's like, you're welcome to read the rules. No, you're cheating. Oh, Fucking.
It's like, and I turn around and it's like, I haven't read the rules. What he's doing is completely fair. And sometimes it's just like, you keep going after me. It's like, because you're the easier target.
It's like, you keep going after me. Yeah, because you're between me and where I want to be.
Oh, that's it.
It's like, oh, but why are you attacking Kris? Because I have no reason to attack Kris yet. I weaken you. I'm like, Kris is doing nothing. Kris is sitting in the corner being a baby. You are over here.
Oh, no, I'm expanding.
You are over here. But, you know, it's so easy. Everyone always looks at Asia and goes, I'm going to expand into Asia. It's 7 troops a turn. And you go, fucking idiot. Why do you think I always take Europe and North America?
Yeah, I suppose.
It's 1 troop less, but it's like 7 territories less.
It is true. It is true.
And it's like holding Asia is incredibly difficult.
I'm well aware.
I've seen it done once. It was done by me, and it was done by me in the most masterful piece of play you've ever fucking seen.
I haven't seen it, but
I was pretty much playing against 5 other people, and I pretty much just made Fort Europe, and I let everyone else battle and weaken themselves, and I ended up with like 50 troops on the board. And then in one sweeping movement, I pretty much obliterated everyone but the people who were in Australia. And then I just fortified the fuck out of the connection to Australia. Yeah. And so they got their, like, 4 troops. And then in the next round, I was like, okay, so you can't win against this. I'm like, I have no troops left to put on the board. I'm like, you can surrender to me now and just accept defeat. I'm like, or you can wait the 3 turns while it's a massive giant army on your border that will absolutely annihilate you. Yep. And one of my friends, because he was the one who, whenever we played Risk, what would happen was me and him would go against each other, and we would both lose, or me and him would team up and everyone would lose. Which is hilarious because it kind of made a lot of our Risk games like people being like, Darcy, Will's doing this to me, and I'm like, Will, stop it, or I'm coming against you, and he's like, okay, and then he'd back off. And then like other people would just get on with Will, and it's like, so you'd have like me and Will pretty much powerhouses, and then these other people like doing little skirmishes against each other, but like we're keeping each other in check, me and Will.
Don't you dare.
I'm pretty much playing the Russia-America game where it's like, don't attack him. Don't attack him, Will, or I'll attack you. And Will's like, okay, well, you don't attack him, or I'll attack you. It's like, okay. And then we're, mutually assured destruction.
Yes.
It's like we're sitting there going, if we go to war with each other, someone else is going to win because we are just 2 giant empires. It's like, but provided we just sit here and like we were playing one where because Will likes to dabble with his board games, and we were playing one where everyone had hit an alliance to another player.
Okay, yeah.
And so no one knew who the teams really were, because it was like, it was like one team, and everyone had a card, but one team, we'll call them the evil team, the team that wanted to wipe out everyone else. They knew who each other was, and that was me and Will.
Yeah.
Everyone else didn't know who the others were, and there were 6 of us playing, but they won if they wiped out the 2 evil teams.
Yeah. And
so pretty much Will is attacking everyone, and they're like, he's evil, Darcy help us. I'm like, no man, I can't. I'm building up my strength. So I just do what I always do, Fort Europe. Fort Europe is sitting there building up my strength. Everyone's like, Darcy,
I'm aware of it.
You're so powerful right now, you've got to help us take out Will. I'm like, I can't do that. And they're like, what, are you on his team? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, no, but seriously, come on, help us take out Will. 5 turns of them going like, are you on his team? And being like, yep, 100%. And they're like, okay, but come on, just help us attack him. And then eventually I was just like, okay, I have enough strength, and I just like, boom, spread out. And they're like, wait, you're attacking us? I'm like, yeah, I've been telling you for like the last 5 turns I'm on his team. And they're like, no, but you were joking. I'm like, no, I was telling you the truth.
and it's a difficult thing.
And Will's sitting there, he's like, okay. And as I struck out, he's like, yeah, okay, bang. And like, because he had been using the fact that I was building up strength to kind of be like, oh yeah, I'm doing these like little probing skirmishes, but building up strength. And then he went, so 2 of us just absolutely destroyed the board in 1 turn. We wiped out everything.
Yeah, because the thing I find fun is that the annoying thing of playing board games with you, he'll tell you the exact truth most of the time.
Oh, I'll tell you the exact truth all the time.
No,
it's just the truth can change between turns.
Yes, that's the tough part. So it becomes one of these things of like, it's tough to tell whether at the time it is the truth.
That's always the truth.
Not when we're playing coup.
Well,
When we're playing coup.
that has the caveat of being, I'm lying. But
Not
what
always.
am I lying about?
That's what I mean. That's the difficult part. Because he doesn't change how he says anything.
I actually wish I had a played.
I haven't found your tell. And that's the
Generally,
problem.
because I don't have one. Because the thing with having a tell is you actually have to feel
I'm aware.
something about the lie.
Oh, yeah.
Right? You have to feel... And it's what poker players feel is nerves. Because of the money riding on it. But with a game like Coup, for me, there is no nerves about it. It's like, I'm doing this because this is what makes sense to me or do right now.
Oh, yeah, fair.
So I don't generally have a tell in Coup. It's just that probably the safest thing to know about me in Coup is my first move is always to take my Duke.
I'm aware of that.
But the problem is, do I have a Duke?
You could have the Duke.
That's something I really want to do. Because we have like so many people now, I want to get together one day and just like fucking rip out Coup and be like, Coup lads.
Yes.
And Love Letter. I want to play more Coup and Love Letter this year.
Yeah, no, yes.
That's my board game
Did we
goal.
even end up playing Love Letter last time?
We didn't.
Damn.
My board game goal for next year is to actually play more board games.
Oh, yes.
Now that I know that Caleb enjoys a good board game,
Again, Jacob, we just couldn't get him last time.
but we'll get everyone together. You know, we won't rip out the big boys unless we've got like fucking, you know, people who are like, okay, I'm ready for this.
And to know Caleb and Jacob would be keen for that. I know that.
That might even be a little much for Caleb.
Okay.
It's
I reckon Jacob's good for it.
It is a big game. It's a big game with a lot going on.
Because Jacob's good as long as it's like, he's okay with setup time, and that's fine. But the problem is when it's setup time plus, hey, no one's read the rules, and it's someone else's board game, and they hand the rules to me, and it's like, this is your board. Fucking what? And then I've got to sit there reading through what they're setting up. But I have to get to the point where it's like, okay, now set this part up. Okay.
No, so I don't. I never do that. My thing is, I always read the rules before playing. So I know the rules going in, but I always keep the rulebook next to me because there's always minutia. That's what I love about my board games, the minutia.
Oh yes.
There are games I own that don't have any minutia, but like, yeah, those games sitting there right now, those I could literally take to any party because they're so simple.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Herd mentality, fucking easy as shit.
Oh, true.
Skull, perfect.
Simple.
Sushi Go Party, fucking 6 to 8 players, let's go.
Simple.
No, sorry, 2 to 8 players.
Well, simple if you've got some brains.
But yeah, so I have then add Coup to that, add Love Letter. You know, I've got heaps of games that we can play with people,
and I've got a couple small
now
ones
we've
as
got
well.
those people that I think would actually enjoy that. Like, you know, you go to something like Caleb's house, and you know when he has people over just having chill drinks, you whip out something like Coup.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Easy. Love Letter. Easy.
Space.
Probably not Sushi Go Party or Herd Mentality could work.
Yeah,
Sushi Go Party, I reckon, could work. It just has a little bit more setup and a little bit more rules. So, like, yeah, the only one there that I don't think I could take would be the bottom one because that one's a little bit more.
Is that one again?
What's next? It's more of a story based thing.
Yeah, I know. I figured that from the name.
And
I just don't think I've seen
it
it
has
yet.
a bunch of mini games in it and stuff that you need a bit more space.
Yeah.
But again, a fun game. But yeah, so like for me, that's definitely my goal for next year. Yeah, play more of my board games. I have so many. I need people to stop wanting to do stuff on a Friday. Like that's probably the thing that pisses me off.
Yeah.
Because I'm like,
Fridays don't really work out.
for me, I'm like my Friday. What I've done is I've arranged it as of the end of this year to go out and like just go down to the pub and see all the people that are at the pub because they've just finished work and shit.
Yeah.
And that's where they go. And hang out with them and drink. But then like my sisters will be like, oh yeah, we're gonna come over and drink when? Friday night. Why can't you do it Saturday?
Yeah.
Because we want to do it Friday. It's like, well, you know, I already do stuff on a Friday night. I'm not changing my whole thing for yous.
Yeah, no.
So anyway.
Yeah, it's fair. Yeah.
And they're like, oh, but it's
I
like,
always aim for Saturday anyway.
yeah, Saturday
That's my
is
thing.
the
Is I
night you
always
should
aim
do it.
for Saturday.
Because it's like, you know, it's don't have anything on a Sunday. It's like, oh, but we got to do this on the Sunday. It's like, well, fine, but you can still do stuff on the Saturday. Anyway, it's a whole thing. It's a whole big thing.
It is.
I'm just like, it's not my goal for the next year. Channel-wise, more content.
Yes.
Life-wise, more board games.
Yes. Mine, channel-wise, actually start the solo videos.
It's okay. When we're sitting here at the end of 2024, that'll be the same resolution.
Probably. As for outside of this wise, yeah, pretty much just hopefully get those courses done. Become a PT. That'd be nice.
Interesting.
Get out of Bunnings.
Interesting. No, yeah. I don't really have much else to talk about, I don't think. We'll talk about the highs, talk about the lows of the last year. Oh, actually, I will say this.
Yeah.
One last review on the year.
Yeah.
Terrible injury to me. Absolutely, took me pretty much out of my life for about 3 weeks.
Yep.
I couldn't do anything that I normally did. I was constantly in pain. Didn't happen when I was doing something absolutely foolish and crazy and throwing myself down a mountain at high speed. No, it happened just playing a game of cricket.
Yep.
Fuck cricket.
I know, right?
Hilarious because, fucking Kris injures himself on the snow trip. Classic.
Yeah.
Me, it's like, nah, fucking... I think at one point I did fall about 7 meters down a mountain face first.
And you didn't get... And that's the funniest thing. Out of everyone that was there, the least likely one to get injured technically was me because I never had those crashes. But both you and Jordan both had those like crashes where it's like, oh yeah, no, I went up, I went over, I face first. Jordan's like, I ended up one ski came off and was just going down the hill. At the same time, and then there's me. I was just trying to stand up.
Just statistically speaking, me and Jordan spent more time throwing ourselves down that mountain.
That's what I mean.
So statistically speaking, one of us should have been more likely to get injured. But no, we both came out of that scot-free.
Yes.
Not an injury. And then,
like, don't get me wrong, mine was not a bad injury, but fuck, it was annoying.
And then, probably like 3 weeks later, just chilling, tearing the hamstring.
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad I didn't have a bad one this year. This one was literally just a tearing ligament in my thumb.
But I do find that like the funniest thing. It's like, I did have a terrible injury this year. I did throw myself down a mountain several times.
Well, see, I had the terrible injury last year that just led into the first few months of this year.
Not related at all.
No.
Absolutely not related.
No. I legitimately found it... actually, one thing I thought that was going to happen while we're there was going to do something worse to my ankle. Oh. That's what I thought was going to happen. Nothing. No. The ankle was fine.
I was just running through all of the fucking dumb shit that we did. I was like... I am probably the most lucky person in the world because I do some spectacularly dumb shit.
Oh yeah,
like spectacularly dumb, and people are like, "Are you fucking okay?" It's like, nah, I'm fucking brilliant. And they're like, "What?" Like, remember the time I got hit by a car? It wasn't fast. I was just annoying my friend, so he hit me with his car. I wasn't letting him get into the parking lot he wanted, so he just went boom. And he's like, oh shit, I did that a little bit faster than I meant to. And I was like, it's fine, I'm good. And he's like, you were just hit by a car.
I'm surprised Kirsten never did that to us.
No, actually, that's fair. But yeah, there's like, and people are like, wait, you've been hit by a car? It's like, oh yeah, it's my own fault.
It's my fault.
But what? Like how are you still alive half the time? It's like, oh, well, you see, I'm incredibly lucky. But it's like, I get terribly injured doing the most nonchalant stuff. Broke my foot. I have broken one bone in my life. I'm a man who has fallen. I'm a man who has fallen off the roof of a building. I'm a man who has climbed buildings. Fucking just yeeting myself over fences is just something that I do when I'm drunk.
Yep.
And I don't. The landing isn't something you think about.
No.
But I've broken one bone in my entire life, and I did it while I was just walking along.
Oh, that's funny. All of my injuries have been where you would expect them to be.
No, nope, none of my injuries, none of my really bad ones happened doing anything you would expect.
It's just, I mean, no, that's the
Especially
thing.
considering the things
that stuff can happen. It's just nobody ever thinks of it.
No, because, but you know, you also live that life where people are looking and go, "You're gonna get hurt." And you're like, "Yep, absolutely. This is something that will end in my pain." And then you do it. You're like, "I'm pretty much fine." And then like 5 minutes later, you're just like walking along, you're like, "Fuck, twisted my ankle," and everyone's like, "How the fuck did you?" It's perfectly flat. You're like, "Oh yeah, no, it's just I wasn't paying attention. I stepped wrong and put all my weight down incorrectly." And they're like, "We literally just saw you do something where you should have died, and you walked out of it scot-free, and here you've done this." Like, yeah, absolutely.
That's how it works.
I have an angel on my shoulder who takes all of my, who gives me luck when I need it, but then is kind of like nonchalant when I don't. I'm like, fuck it, you'll be fine.
You'll be fine. Oh, what the fuck did you do?
Like, sorry, you've used up all of your luck surviving that. It's like the time I was riding on the front of my friend's car, and he stopped, and we got thrown off, and like near where I landed were all these fucking big gnarly tree roots and shit. I popped up and everyone's like, "Holy shit, we thought you had smacked into those." I'm like, "Nah, I'm good."
I'm good. Yeah, that's all the luck for the day.
Never forget, I'm good. Get up, walk away. 5 minutes later, fucking stub my toe on a staircase. Ah, motherfucker. What happened? Just luck playing a trick on me.
Luck playing a trick. That's how it goes.
It's also like I used to get my feet stuck between pallets at Bunnings.
What the?
Because I'd be like moving pallets at the front to help them out. You know how they have all the pallets there?
Yeah.
Bring them in and stuff. I'd be bringing them in, I'd be like, and then I'd like pop up on the pallet to like move it into like butt them up against each other and stuff. So I'd like hop up and be like, nah, and I'd put it in, and then I'd like drop the pallet, pull it out, and then I'd be like, and like fall over. And like one of the days someone walks up and like, "How the fuck do you manage to do that nearly every day?" I'm like, "I still don't know." And I'm like, because seriously, it's every day. It's like, you put your foot up there, you go, yep, you put your foot down, you drop the pallet, you pull the pallet jack out, you turn to walk away, and you fall over. It's like, because my foot's stuck between the two pallets. Like,
so I'm assuming it's stuck between the stock on the pallets.
No. Because I'd put my foot on the pallet, put it in place, and I'd put my foot down next to the pallet, drop the pallet jack, but when it drops, it would sit into place, and then the tops of it would like pinch my shoe down.
Oh, okay.
And I'd go,
Just fucking
and like, "How are you so incompetent at this?" I'm like, "It's not incompetence. It's literally just,
I mean, look, the injuries I've had at work, I've never told.
And then those same people saw the day that I arrived at Bunnings at like 8 in the morning, and someone else was driving. I'm like, "Oh no," and they're like, "Where do you want me to park?" I'm like, "Oh no, this is fine. I just like yeeted myself out the door." And they're like, "What the fuck did you do?" I'm like, "It's fine. Just pop up, keep walking." They're like, "You get your foot stuck in a pallet jack every day, yet you just jumped out of a moving car." I'm like, "Yeah, it happens." It's life.
No, see, my thing is, I've dropped a metal 15-litre 10 on my hand. Not a problem.
Yeah.
Nothing happened. Doing hand reach one day, accidentally drop a box from this high above my hand onto my thumb. Fucking the pressure burst out the fucking side of my thumb. What the fuck's this?
It's life.
And don't get me wrong, the 15-litre is about this high above my hand, so far more force into it. No,
this is, as I said, it's one of the funny things in life. It's like, if I do something, I don't know, maybe it's like a mental preparation thing where it's like,
you know you're gonna get hurt here, so it's like, hey, fuck yeah, I didn't get hurt.
It's like the thing is like, what I'm about to do is actually dangerous, so it's like, you just on high alert, you're doing everything like correct, but then like with the other things, it's like, this is fine. Oh crap, I broke a bone.
Yeah, that's probably.
But I don't know. But I find it so funny. But that's like my favorite thing. This year, I fell 7 meters down a mountain face first. Got up perfectly fine. Like, hit the ground so hard I left a dent in the snow. a good solid fucking. But
and you need to understand, as we've stated before, this was out of season, so there wasn't a lot of snow.
It was pretty hard, very icy.
Yes.
Got up perfectly fine, no worries. Fucking playing a fucking chill social game of cricket. Fucking doorman.
Just fucking drops.
Like a ton of bricks. Hell of a year.
Yep.
will not be sad to see it go.
Yeah, no.
But for all the good times, there were bad times as well.
Oh,
So I'm always
always is.
I'm always left with a little piece of advice from an 80-year-old man.
80-year-old. Okay.
And that piece of advice is this: no one ever said the world was going to be fair.
No, and if you ever thought it was going to be, you've got something wrong.
That's it. That's the only piece of advice.
Yeah, no, it's true.
The world is not fair. Don't expect it to be. The good times, they have to come with the bad times because you can't always be up. Sometimes you have to be down.
Mm.
But it's how we deal with those down times that matters. And so we say, we keep on keeping on.
Yeah.
And so, with the new year looming, we look forward to the good times.
Yeah.
We anticipate the bad times.
Oh, yes.
Um,
I'm anticipating what injury I'll have next year.
And we just, we keep going on. Remembering that if times are bad, the only place they can go is better. Once you hit rock bottom, you can't go
Well, yeah, once you've hit rock bottom, yes.
And, again, because it's this time of year where there is all this pressure and people start to get overwhelmed by it all, remember that you have friends and people who care about you, and your mental health is what's most important. So look forward to the new year, plan for the highs, expect the lows.
Don't plan for those ones. That's a bit of an odd one.
Don't plan for them, but do expect them.
Yes.
Don't let them catch you off. Know that they're coming. They're around every corner.
Yeah.
But, there's always a light at the end of that tunnel. And I think that just about wraps us up.
I think so.
Happy New Year.
Yes.
Don't let the time of year get to you. If you don't have any plans, that's fine.
Just chill out.
Take some time for
Chill
yourself.
out. Watch some more of our videos.
Look after yourself. Get through the bad times, and we'll see you when the times are good.
Yeah.
And when you want to be seen, we'll be there. That goes to Kris a lot. He's very depressed. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining us. If you like the video, consider liking, sharing, commenting, or subscribing. If you want to see more of our videos, check out our channel. They're all there.
Yes.
If you would like to support the channel more directly, there is a Patreon somewhere. Once I get internet back, I actually do have a ton of content to go there. It's just that I was literally starting to put it up and the internet went out.
It's a thing.
Unlucky me. But if you do want to support the channel directly, go there. As we said, sometimes sometimes there'll be big content drops. Other times it might be a little bit scarce, but it's all about trying to do the best that we can. We are going to, in the new year, spend a bit more time with the Patreon. I'll make sure Kris is on it as well, and we'll put up updates and stuff, anything that's interesting happening.
Yeah.
So do check that out. There is also a Discord, but again, no internet, so I can't fix the issue that we're having with that yet.
Actually, I know I'm on it now.
Yeah, I invited you.
Through Discord, yes.
Yeah, directly though. I can't invite everyone.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Well,
So
unless you want to put your Discord thing in. Chris has time. There is also Discord, but yeah, if you do want to get in contact, we will try and get that because that's going to be better than the general comment way. But other than that, once again, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you in the new year.
Shall do.
Goodbye.
So.
I'm covered in bruises. Take me back to the friends page, please. I have to block someone. Where's my football? Give me my football, Kris. Because I am a jock. And it makes me happy. God, I want to buy Jedi Survivor. I should buy Jedi Survivor. No, Darcy. That's
$50.
I don't want to buy that version. Oh my god. It's $59.
Oh,
Hold on, I need a. Oh, where's my phone? Here it is. I just need to make a phone call to my accountant. Can we afford it? Of course we can afford it. What do you mean we can we? My accountant's just as fiscally irresponsible as me. I'm a jock.